elections. Now there are candidates who come to me that I have only 10 lakh rupees and can I contest and win my municipal election in 10 lakh rupees? The answer to this is yes, you can contest and you can win your municipal election in 10 lakh rupees also. Now your question would be how? Now just this part is more important than the first part, how. So you should understand that in order to increase, there is a concept called interchangeability of the resources. What is it? It means that time is money. You can definitely contest your election in 10 lakh rupees, but you need to have time in hand. If you have time in hand, you can very wisely reduce your election expenditures at least by 5 times, which means your opponent being 50 lakh spending and you doing 10 lakh spending is equivalent, provided you spend at least 3 times more time from your candidate, from your opponent in your election campaign. And how can you do that? Do you have to start your campaign activity, like am I saying that 3 months beforehand? No, I'm not saying that. What I am trying to say here is that what you should do is your election research, your campaign research, this part you should start at least 1 year in advance, because you know, when you do your campaign research 1 year in advance to your elections, then you would have very ample amount of time to do all the research, and at each stage you can save at least 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 lakh rupees compared to your opponent who is doing the same thing in last 2 months and still not being able to do it properly. And same goes with you also. I have seen that candidates are procrastinators and they are only thinking whether they will get the ticket, whether they'll get the ticket. And in this procrastination, they don't do the work which they should be doing once they get the ticket. Let's say if I say that you get ticket today and there is 1 month for your election. Now what are you going to do in 1 month period of time in order to win your election? What all will you do? You have a constituency with 2 lakh voters, or let's say for municipal corporation in your municipality there are 40,000 voters. What will you do in 1 month period of time? How will you do the reach out? How will you create campaign messages for each segment of these voters? How will you get them out to vote? How will you do door to door? What kind of resources would you deploy? What kind of volunteers would you deploy? What will be your schedule for visiting the households, or for doing Jan Sabhas, for doing rallies, for doing different campaign activities? As against, you have 1 year period of time and you are working on these 40,000 voters. Now, the choice is yours. What do you want to do? Do you want to procrastinate and spend 5 times more budget and still not be sure whether you'll win the election or not, or have ample amount of time in hand and then do things wisely, reduce your election expenditures to as low as 10 lakh rupees for municipal elections and even for MLA elections, and do your planning wisely? Choice is yours. See you.